Hi, everybody. Welcome to this special edition of 49ers Live, a special edition of Victory Monday on Niners Radio 49. Brian Professor B. Davis here on location in San Francisco. Here, we're starting a little bit late because we had some technical difficulties. Were set, so we apologize for the inconvenience. We were supposed to start at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. A lot of you, but we just getting in a little bit late. So we apologize for that inconvenience. So we have a lot of you on. We're gonna recap. We're gonna only have like about 45 minutes. It's gonna be a shortened, condensed show. You want to come on talk 49ers football? Our hotline number, if the the hotline number will be 415. The hotline will be 415 415 529 five two. It's 529 7979. If you want to come on the air and talk about that coming behind win, the 49ers just by the skin of their teeth defeating the Green Bay Packers. That was a gut check game that they for the 49ers. It looked like the Niners were the way that last drive was on the brink of elimination and another playoff postseason disappointment, heartbreak, and Brock Purdy coming through, having his Joe Montana moment, and the Niners came back. And we'll recap that game and give you all ready for championship week. The Niners, of course, with that victory and that Niner Packer win, adds to that another sticker or that another chapter to that 49er Packer rivalry, another that scrapbook of that Niner Packer rivalry, a rivalry going back to the mid late 90s. So we also going to have some open lines though too, because want to have some open lines. Open lines if you want to talk 49er football. Our hotline is area code 415-529-7979. That's 415 529-7979 is our hotline number. And we'll get to all of you who want to come on talk 49er football. And we're going to be on till about 7 o'clock. So this is going to be a very brief, abbreviated show for this evening. We were trying to get it on for an hour, but unfortunately we had some technical difficulties. So we apologize for the inconvenience. So the Niners are back in it. They will play the Detroit Lions next Sunday at Levi Stadium for the NFC Championship game. Niners are back in it for the fourth time in 5 years. 4 of the last 5 years. Also, it'll be for the fourth time in the last 5 years. Niners will be playing in the NFC Championship game. And then also we and then that will be the Niners and Detroit Lions late window. 3:30 kickoff is the time. That will be on Fox Sports. That will be the late window. And the Niners now just one victory away from getting back to the Super Bowl for the first time in 4 years. It will be for the Niners trying to make it for the 8th time in franchise history. So we're going to recap of that game. We're going to give you some, and if we have some time, news and those. And if Niner fans, if you're in the area, would you like to have an open line? You want to come and talk 49 football? Our hotline number is 415-529-7979. 415-529-7979 is our hotline number. We'll talk 49 football, get you ready for the National Football Conference Championship game, and then in the other games the Detroit Lions holding off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-23 as the Detroit Lions. Congratulations to the Lions, the city of the Motor City. Lions are back in the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1991, January of 92. last time, and this is only for the second time. The Niners, of course, in contrast or in perspective, 49ers are playing in the conference championship game for the 19th time since the league merger. Since the 1970 league merger, that's more. The Niners have played more championship and for the 11th time, I think they're hosting the NFC Championship game. The 11th time they're hosting. That they've hosted more in a conference championship team games than any team in the NFL since the league merger back in 1970. While the Detroit Lions are appearing in the NFC Championship game for only just the second time since the league merger, since the 1970 league merger. So for Detroit Lions and their fans, this is long time coming. Congratulations to for Coach Dan Campbell, and for the Detroit Lions and the Ford family and the organization getting to this far. So we're going to have a lot going on this week. We're going to try to get some guests coming on. We're going to try to get the voice of the Detroit Lions, Dan Miller, on to give his perspective. And we got a whole week to digest and go into the matchups. Of course, early in the day, in case you missed it, the Lions ended up signing former Philadelphia Eagle, former Super Bowl champion, Zach Miller. He's going to replace Laporta, the tight end, who suffered an injury. And we're going to get to all of that, the news and notes around the National Football League as well. And Niner fans, if you're in the area, you should come in and check us out. Niners Radio 49 podcast. We're going to be having stuff all this week. We're getting into that grind into of the National Football Conference Championship, 49ers and the Detroit Lions. And that's going to be a kickoff time at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. I think 3:40 is the kickoff time. And we got Brian Bauer on. Hold on one second. Hello? Hello? Hey, call me on this number. Call me on my number at, my hotline number, 415-529-7979. I'm doing the podcast right now. Yeah. You can call me on that number. We can talk a little 49 football. Yeah. In fact, what's your email? Hold on, wait. I'm gonna do one better. So I'm gonna put this in my Gmail. Hold on, give me 1 sec. We gotta do it slowly. Google Workspace. One more time. Yep. At AOL.com. Yep. I'm sending it to you right now. Coming at the perfect time. Yeah. So you're gonna be on in just a moment. Yep. I just sent you the link, and you should get it. Then once your face comes there, I'm gonna put you on. Yep. All right. 1 second. Okay, so that was I just got an unexpected call. Brian Bauer, a lot of you know, he used to do Niners Radio 49. He was the head mediator. He just coming in, and so he's going to come on. He currently helps out with the 49ers. We're going to talk a little bit about this game tonight. We're now at time is our satellite digital media news time 6:26. For those of you watching this simulcast we're going to wait for him to come on in a few minutes though. So we are so we're going to get him on. He'll be coming on in a few minutes time. So 49ers with a victory over the Green Bay Packers. Niners for the 19th time since the merger going to the NFC Championship. They got 37 postseason wins. That's the most in the history of the National Football League. Niner faithful, if you want to come on, talk football, 415-529-7979 is the hotline number. We got a lot going on this week. Niners are back in the NFC Championship game. We're going to have Brian Bauer coming on now. He works with the 49ers, based out of his home in Chicago. We're going to talk and dissect this game. We'll get you ready for the Niners and the Detroit Lions for the NFC Championship. The Niners are just one victory away from returning to the Super Bowl for the second time in the last 5 years, and will be for the eighth time in franchise history, trying to make it win that, put them a win away from winning the franchise's sixth Super Bowl in franchise history, which that would tie them with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're waiting around just a few minutes time. The time is now at 6:27. We're waiting for him just to get on board. So he should be getting on there any minute right now. We're on Niners Radio 49. We're going to be on until about 7 o'clock. It's a very short, condensed show. Later in the week, we'll have a full show. As we're going to try to get some guests to come on. We'll preview the NFC Championship. We're trying to get Dan Miller from the Detroit Lions, and we do got Brian Bauer coming on. We're going to add him on right now. And hey, how you been? How you been? Doing good. I'm joining live here at this cafe here on in the Marina District here in San Francisco on this Monday night. Boy, that was like I was like cool as a cucumber, just like so loose throughout that entire game, and it was just like man, I felt like I kept on saying I was just chilling when that drive came, like Joe Montana, because I told a lot of people because I just turned 47. I said I can't get too stressed out because I may not make it to 48. But they survived that. Your thoughts on the game as we reset it? No. Right. And then yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean this game Saturday night adds to that another putting that scrapbook of that 49er Packer rivalry. It really started in the mid '90s. Thinking a lot of the kids don't know, or a lot of them who are in like 26, 27 years old, their parents tell them about them when after it was all about the Niners and Cowboys in the early mid '90s. But by 1995, January of '96, some 28 years ago, when the Packers knocked out the 49ers, you could sense that it was the changing of the guard. The balance of power shifted from the Cowboys Niners rivalry to now the Packers being the new bully on the block for San Francisco, which that was just that them coming out here beating the 49ers in that playoff game at Candlestick, or when it was known as 3Com Park at Candlestick Point, was really got them to that Super Bowl win in 1996. Mike Holmgren, Mike Mike Holmgren, Bill Walsh 2.0, the West Coast offense, and a local guy. A local guy went to Lincoln High School from the that part of town, the Sunset District. That's the that inner or that kind of that outer Sunset District area. Great, one of my favorite neighborhoods. I went this to a private school back in the '80s. Over there in that inner Sunset District, the inner part. in the city, and so I have some kind of recollections of that area. Well, Mike Holmgren graduated at Lincoln High School, the same high school where both my nephew who played football there and my niece graduated there at Lincoln High. And their tight end Laporta just got injured and looks like he's not going to play. And they just signed the former Philadelphia Eagle, former Cardinal, former Eagle, and he played down the farm with Jim Harbaugh, Zach Ertz, the big tight end. Yeah, that was earlier in the day. Yep, yep. Similar to what Kyle's dad, Mike Shanahan, did in the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers when when Terrell Davis had those nasty migraine headaches. They used him as a decoy, and they utilized Howard Griffith in that Super Bowl win against the Packers. Well, I think everybody, a lot of people now saying Detroit Lions, and not to take nothing away what they have did, regardless what happens for them. They look what they were a few years back, even 15 years ago when they were the laughing stock, 0-16. They went through a lot of lean years, and then to get to this point of the season, think of the stat of today in perspective. The Detroit Lions have been, or whoever would think this, Detroit Lions playing in the NFC Championship game for the first time this century. The Cowboys is yet to win to get past the divisional play, have not even played in the NFC Championship game this century. In addition, the Miami and two other teams I could put in who had the Miami Dolphins have really alone since the last time the Detroit Lions had won a playoff game in 1993. The Dolphins hadn't won a playoff game since 2000. In fact, the Miami Dolphins have only just one playoff win since Dan Marino retired after following the 1999 season. And the think about this, between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns 3 years ago. Both them have more playoff wins combined than the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. And the only and I mean the Dolphins have not been to the AFC Championship game since January of 1992, January of 93, when you was in college, when yours truly was a sophomore in high school, when President-elect Bill Clinton was about to take Oval Office. when he was about to replace George Herbert Walker Bush in January of '93, 31 years ago. The While the Cleveland Browns have only won just one playoff they have more playoff wins, or they've had at least more playoff winning percentage than the '99 rebirth than the Dallas Cowboys have combined. Or in fact, the the actually, because they keep all the records from the old Cleveland Browns, the Browns have only had just one playoff win since 1994, and have not been to the AFC Championship since 1989, January of 1990. So I think between Dallas and Cleveland, and I will say about the Cleveland Browns, they're not that far away from winning that division. They're not that far away. They just have to have a quarterback. Joe Flacco is, not the Flacco when he was in his prime, but they bring Nick Chubb back. Which, by the way, I got me a Nick Chubb Cleveland Browns jersey. Um, I mean, and I love that. Go ahead, go ahead. I agree. Yep. Who would ever thought about a month? I mean, early exits. I mean, they was talk that Dallas was going to be Niners and Cowboys, and then but I got to give Green Bay credit. I mean, the Packers came in there a big D a week ago, and they were absolutely not intimidated, regardless who the quarterback is. No matter, regardless who the with or without Aaron Rodgers, they still can't beat the Green Bay Packers. Who, by the way, the Packers are now beating the Cowboys. Dallas 10 of their last 11 meetings, including the postseason, including the playoffs. They may have changed. Yep. They underestimated them. If they took this current roster and put a bunch of frosh off JV players on the Packers, the Cowboys wouldn't even beat them. High school JV players, yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, 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 no. Yeah, I mean, I think it was the best thing that the Packers upset Dallas. I knew when they jumped on them 27 to nothing like that. I said I knew we were in we knew we were in trouble going in next week, and we knew we are going to have our fans hands full, not in a negative way, but we knew we were going to have our hands full one way or the other because that's still a rivalry game. And you know, but but I think they got out of there, survived it. They rest up. They got those extra days off. But Detroit Lions, they're going to have to make that cross country Midwest Eastern time zone to come out to the Pacific time zone, and that's going to have some factors. And the Lions coming off two games where even Tampa Bay played well last on yesterday, and they're going to be. It's going to be two games. It's going to be something when this is for and by the way, they will play the NFC North next year. They'll play Detroit in Santa Clara, and they got to go to Green Bay, and they got to go to Minneapolis. It's going to be a brutal schedule next year, Brian. I mean, and the NFC and the AFC East, with Buffalo, another heartbreaker for Bills fans and bitter disappointment last night. And they got to play the Chiefs. That could be, if the Niners play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, that would be a rematch next year as well. Right. Yeah. 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 You go figure. Well, I mean, because this is the you're in that fifth year of this window, when you swing and miss every time the finality, when you miss that opportunity, like they've had in 3 of the 4 years, or you can make it 4 of the last 5 if you throw out COVID when I mean, when they didn't get that chance, last year, Purdy get knocked out with that injury. Then was it Jakorski Tarts routine drop, fly ball, drop the can of corn was the difference, and the Rams came back to win, and then the Super Bowl, 7 minutes and 13 seconds away from you know, and I think these guys are just working as hard and just if I have to give, no doubt the advantage goes to the 49ers because they don't want to be that team to lose 3 straight times in the NFC Championship, as happened to multiple. It happened to Andy Reid's Eagles in the early 2000s. 2 of those 3 straight times they lost was at home. The Dallas Cowboys, I think they did it, or the other teams, the Rams in the mid 70s, 74, 75, 76. They, of course, went to the NFC title game, I think 5 times in 6 years. They finally got there in 79. And then the Dallas Cowboys, 80 to their rival Philadelphia in Philly. And then the Montana Clark the catch in 81. Then they lost to the Redskins in that NFC title game, then the strike shortened season of 82. And but that was kind of more of different time, different teams, because that was more of a veteran team. Was at the you know really a veteran team, which age was starting to creep up. But I hope that this time that they can get over that hump, though, because this is what Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have, all the moves they have did, from the McCaffrey deal last year to getting Trent Williams and Chase Young. Right. That's right. That's correct. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, exactly. So, um, also, the your thoughts on that other half of that divisional playoff game, the Chiefs, Bills. Bills choked again, missed opportunity on the tie the field goal, possibly at worst go to home overtime, and the Chiefs did it again. Patrick Mahomes. Right, right. Yeah. They're a team on the rise. D'Amico Ryan's he's going to get Coach of the Year. Campbell's going to get some votes, but DeMarco Ryans is going to get the Coach of the Year. Never, never, never. Yeah, I think Cleveland's not that far away. They're gonna have to, and the Bengals if Joe Burrow could come back healthy, I mean that's the best division in football. Every team in that division. I mean, I can't say the Bengals are a loser because they finished with a 9-8 record. That's not bad at all. Everybody's a winner in that division. They play. They play. They play. They play. They play. It's a black. That's why they call it the black and blue division. Both the AFC and the NFC North, the black and blue division. That's kind of like they're kind of mirror images, and they're like your cousin, your cousin or your sister division conference, inter conference sister or cousin interconference. Central, the Central Division. Sam White, Boomer Esiason, Ken Anders, Kenny, right? Kenny. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. RPM. RPM. Right. The RPM. What's that? What RPM stands for the for tell us for the viewers at home. RPM. Yeah. I mean, whoever believe over a month, probably over 6 weeks ago, do you think the Detroit Lions would be playing the 49ers in the NFC Championship? I mean, and the way how Philadelphia had that monumental collapse after that debacle on the back over 6 weeks ago, and then the went to lose six of their final seven games, and then for the Dallas Cowboys who end up winning the NFC East, but then they just dropped the ugly skunk in the playoff at home against the Packers. I mean, who would ever would have thought that? Who would ever thought? And I had the Niners and Bills, the Chris Berman Super Bowl, which will not happen. That's not gonna happen. And by the way, the Bills and Chiefs, that rivalry goes back to the old American Football League in the '60s. Jack Kemp, who was the senator, of course, his son Jeff Kemp quarterbacked the 49ers that one season back in 1986 when Montana missed the majority of that season with that back surgery, and then the Chiefs, of course, with Len Dawson and going back to the old American Football League in the '60s, and then they hooked up a couple of times in the playoffs, the divisional playoff that one year, and then the AFC Championship game in '93 when the Bills beat the Chiefs. That was when Joe Montana got knocked out of that game with a concussion, and then later that evening, the Niners fall to the Cowboys in Big D in Dallas. Yep. Oh, we've been doing from what from 2014 to about what 2018, the next 5 years, 5 straight years. Well, when you watch that podcast of me and Matt Mayoka putting this into perspective, talking to some Niner fans on Saturday before the game, doing the tailgate, while taping some stuff for tailgate, getting some pictures, some shots. This is what for those times when they were struggling. After Harbaugh, it was Tom Sula, then Kelly, then Kyle and John and those, and people were giving tickets away. They were selling them dirt cheap for about $1. Like you could get the equivalent of getting something at a Goodwill or Salvation Army thrift store. That's how things were bad. And I was telling Antonio, I mean, and now they now just one victory, and now they're and then you sign, then they signed early in the year. They signed Lynch and Shanahan to that long term deal, and and the Jed York not interfering, staying back, and let the product dictate itself. Right. Whoa! No way. Bad memories at San Diego Charger game when he missed, I think, two critical field goals, and they lost that game. And then that's where they end up picking up Jeff Chandler, and the Niners special teams was not that good back in the early 2000s. In fact, you remember that game where Cortez missed that chip shot field goal, but would have won it in regulation against the Raiders in Oakland, and then he was able to come back and get it in overtime. Fortunately, the Niners did win the toss, and um, the Raiders unfortunately never got the ball back, never got the chance to touch the ball in OT, and Cortez was able to make that field goal. But they just had for a while that time they had some inconsistency on that field goals with a kid's inconsistent kicker. But um, yeah, and Moody, he did his job, got 1 out of 2, not bad. He uh, I mean that the 48 yarder was just a straight up block. There's nothing he could do. Eh, yeah. Uh oh. Hello. We are having some technical difficulties. Brian. Here we go. Okay, we got like 1 minute. We're gonna wrap it up because they're getting ready to they're getting ready to close up here at Pizza. Um, So the way it looks, I want to one quick note. I'm definitely trying. Let me know if you could try to get in contact with somebody for the 49ers, like a Al Guido. I'd love to get him on my podcast for the NFC Championship. Though that's what I've been, what's going to be the up. That might be hard. If you can, it's okay because I always like to get what's going to be the upcoming attractions for the NFC Championship because it's a home game. All right. Okay, that's a wrap there. Getting ready to close. So, Brian, thank you very much. We got to wrap it up. And I'll keep it base later in the week. So that's Brian Bauer, my special guest. Used to run Niners Radio 49. Niners getting ready for the NFC Championship. We'll give you wall to wall coverage of the NFC Championship this week. We'll get some people to come on. We'll get somebody for the Detroit Lions and give them their perspective. Niners and Lions next Sunday at the Mecca, Levi Stadium, NFC Championship. 3:30 is the kickoff time, or 3:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the kickoff. 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5:40 p.m. Central Time. Catch the action on Fox with Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson with the call, and on the 49ers Real U.S. Bank 49ers Real Network with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan. We'll have another edition of 49ers Live throughout this week. Later, when we'll let you know to be determined. For now, I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. Check out all the latest 49ers news and postseason and NFC Championship information, 49ers.com. And check us out on our YouTube page, on our platform, youtube.com/@Niners Radio 49. Thank you for watching this edition of 49ers Live Victory Monday edition. And we will have another edition next Monday night at this around this same time because of the end of the football. No more prime time Monday Night Football or college football for the season. We'll be doing this in the evenings now throughout the rest of this postseason. Hopefully the Niners with a W next Sunday. We'll be doing this again next with recapping them going to the Super Bowl, hopefully this time next week. But we'll have continued more coverage. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis throughout the week. Check us out, youtube.com/@Niners Radio 49. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a very pleasant good evening. And thank you for watching Victory Monday 49ers Radio 49, the association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network. 49ers faithful, doing it for the Bay. Go Niners.